So now let's take a look at how to remove a large set of learners from your folders or your modules. Same thing, head to your folder sharing or manage learner settings, click on upload authorized learners and download the latest existing learners who have access to your folder or your module. Once the download is complete, open the file. Now, even when it comes to removing the learners, we do not want to remove the rows entirely. We still want to keep the ArcLab IDs intact. So we'll only just be removing the content under the names, email, phone, and ID column. So right click and clear contents, something like this. So now we see that all the specific credentials have been removed and we still have our ArcLab IDs intact. We do not want to edit, change, or remove anything that falls under the ArcLab ID column. So bear this in mind. Now, the process of removing learners may require additional steps. So first, we prepare the list of learners we want to remove in a similar ArcLab template. Head back to the sheet. And to really make our lives easier, let's view the two spreadsheets together side by side on the screen. Head to the View tab and click on View Side by Side. Now, on the right side of the screen, I have my To Remove list, which contains all the learners whom I want to remove from the authorized list of my folder or module, which is here located on the left side of the screen. So the problem here is the specific learners that I want to remove, they are probably all over the place and randomly located within this list. So now what I need to do is for Excel to tell me exactly where these specific learners are located at. Now there's a few ways to go about doing this, but I'm using the VLOOKUP function on Excel to tell me exactly where the matches are. So if there's a match in names, for example, between the two spreadsheets that I have on my screen, that would tell me that the specific learner that I have in my current authorized list is also appearing in the To Be Removed list. And this will tell me that that learner will have to be removed. So I'm going to go ahead and temporarily add a column over here and name it as To Remove. You can name it anything you want. It's just for self-referencing. So right below this new header, under the cell here, right, I will begin typing in the formula. So we begin with equal and type in the word VLOOKUP and open bracket. So there are four important things that need to be present in your formula. First, what is the value or variable that we're looking for to match? In this demonstration, we're using their name. So I'm going to go ahead to select the name within the same first row, Louis Lane, and it returns a value B2. Now, of course, you may also use their IDs for lookup and as a reference value. So simply click on the ID column, the first row, and you will get a E2 value. All right. But for this demonstration, we're using the name, so we're sticking with B2. Okay. Once you're done, add a comma behind. Now, with that, the second thing we need to have in our formula is the range or place within a specific spreadsheet where we can find the name as well as the return value that we want to be printed here in our remove column. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and highlight everything here in this To Remove list, all the values under this table here, because this is the region of interest that I want to be looking for the values, the names that I'm looking for, as well as what I want to be printed back in my spreadsheet column here. Okay, so once you're done, add a comma behind again. Now we move into the third step, which is to enter the column number within this given range containing the return value. So say, for example, we manage to locate the name, say Iron Man, okay? Which value within the same row of the highlighted table of interest would you like to be printed on our column back here? Okay, so column A is equals to 1, column B is equals to 2, column C equals 3, and column D equals to 4. So I want the names to be printed back here. So I will simply type in 1. If you want their IDs to be printed back in your spreadsheet column over here on the left side, you can replace it with 4. Okay, so once again, once you're done, add a comma behind. And lastly, the last input to our formula will be the word false, as this will only help show and print if there's an exact match between the names. All right, once done, put in a close bracket and hit enter. Now you will see here that either a NA or a name will appear in our cell. If you see a name, that means there is a match found, right, between the two spreadsheets. Now, if you see an NA, which is something like this here, it means that no match was found in the corresponding table that you highlighted earlier here. Now, we don't have to repeat the formulas again to check for every row. So we simply head over to the right corner of this cell here and drag it all the way down to the last row of your table. All right, so to recap, if you see a NA, that means there's no matching name found in the other spreadsheet consisting of all the learners that I want to be removed. This means that these are the people that I do not want to remove from my authorized list. We only want to look for learners with a match in the names and have their names printed accordingly here in this column. So we can see here, Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man, Hawkeye. These names are printed. So this will tell us that these group of people, Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, etc., are the ones that we need to remove. Great. So now we have found all the learners that we need to remove, but still they're all over the place. So let's tidy things up by applying a filter. Click on the To Remove header, go to the Data tab, and hit on Filter. All right, so now an arrow appears on all my headers. So click on the arrow under the To Remove column, and we'll see quite a number of filters over here. Go all the way down. So we're not interested to see those who are NA. And NA means that these names consist of all the names that we do not want to remove because there's no match in the other list. So we uncheck the NA box and click OK. So now we're left with all the learners whom I want to remove. Remember, we don't clear anything, remove or edit anything under the ArcLab column. So we highlight the cells under the name, email, phone, ID column, right? And we click the right button and we hit on clear contents. Now we've successfully removed all of these learners that we're required to remove. So now let's bring back all the other remaining learners before we upload this list again. So click on the arrow button under the To Remove column again and click on Clear Filters. Right, now everyone who is supposed to remain is back again. Now, one final step before we proceed. Remember, the Excel list to be uploaded has to be following the ArcLab template, and earlier we've temporarily added a new column here, the to remove column. So let's go ahead and delete it. We're all done now. We'll save our file. Return back to your folder sharing settings. Drag our file back in here, and you receive a preview of all the learners that will be removed from your authorized list. Right? Once you've confirmed, you will then see that all the names and the previous set of learners who you wanted to remove are now gone from your authorized list. Once you're ready, click on Save Changes.